beautiful Saturday morning, and I am extremely happy. It's been almost a year and a half. What I really want to do today is, number one, thank all of y'all for making this possible. Number one, the Facebook and the Zooms. It's been an awful lot of fun for me. And, I tell you an awful lot how much I love you and how much you mean to me, and you really do. The number one thing in my life now, of course, is your family and your religion and my fans. And I feel like after baseball, a lot of people loses their fans, but I think I gained a lot more fans. And I feel like, playing in New York was an unbelievable experience for me. And I made a lot of friends, met so many people. And after my career was over with, people will always tell you, well, they don't know me in New York again, or they don't know me in these cities where I played. But this is not me. What y'all have done for me and made my life this last year is it's been very pleasant for me. And I hope I have given you sometimes some stories and some happiness. And I know this has been a very, very tough time for everybody and for our whole world. And that's really what I would like to say to y'all. Thank y'all very much for everything. And I remember down in fantasy camp, about 2 years ago, and I met Diana Mudson. And there has been so many great written books about Thurman. I think the best books are Marty Appel. Marty, I think, should be in the Writers Hall of Fame because he's that good. He did a great job with Thurman. And I went up to Diana, and 2 years ago, and this is how this actually started. And I said, Diana, Thurman is my best friend. And we lived together for almost 5 years. And we came up together. Fortunately, he played longer than I did, but his life was cut short, of course. My career was cut short because of injuries, but we still had that bond and we had something. And I said, Diana, I know that there's been some great books written about Thurman, but I want to write one about really what type of person he really was. Because when Thurman was always on the ballot for being in the Hall of Fame, I saw people jumping past him. And I said, that's not right. Thurman was just too good. Number one, he was a good captain. He was a great leader, but he was a great ball player and he was a great person. And, when you're out on that field, you have to be a general. You got so many different personalities on that field. You got 25 different guys, and we have to live together for almost a whole life, during the season. And, and you have your managers and you have your coaches, and that's great. But I think you got to have a field general. And Thurman, as soon as Thurman came up, he was a natural field general. And everybody on the team respected him. And there was a few young kids who were afraid of him. But we knew him. We knew what type of guy he was and what type of person that he gave out on the field. And off the field, I knew because we're together an awful lot on and off the field. And when I spoke to Diana about it, and she said, you would be a perfect person to really let the people know what type of person Thurman was really, what type of person he was. And I said, Diana, I'm going to do that. So I thought about it, and I came up with the idea, I want to write a book. And I was just coming off my old book, Designated Hebrew. That was a great book. It was a baseball book. It was about me. And, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun to do. I met a lot of people, gave a lot of thrills to people. So it was great. So I said, I'm going to do another book. So I went to Rob Wilson, he was my literary agent, and he was Marty Appel's, and he was Bill Madden's literary agent. And I went up to him. He said, "That sounds great." And so he chopped it around. There was a lot of interest in it. But he said the best book company was Triumph. And I've seen it before, but my first book was not Triumph. And he said, I'm going to contact them. So they wanted it. And he said, this is what the deal is. And he said, put it together. So he got me involved with Dan Epstein, who is one of the greatest writers. I had a great writer in Dan Schlossberg, who helped me write The Designated Hebrew, and he was wonderful also. But Dan was another type of writer. That Dan was a writer that really made you feel like it's a family situation. Dan and I got together. We spoke. Dan wanted to do it. Dan had some great credentials. He was an editor for the Rolling Stones, and he's a great music guy. And he knew all the music that I knew, and a lot of people that I actually knew in the record industry. And it took us almost a year and a half. Well, let's say a year to write the book. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, I got my books, and I got them earlier. Purchased some books from the book company, and the book is better than what you see on Facebook. I'm not saying it because it's my book. And I read the book, of course. I read the manuscript of the book, but I read this book. I didn't read the whole thing, but my wife read it. My kids read it. I gave it to Lenny Cosberg, Joe Garrido, and a couple of other people to read the book. And they loved the book. And I said, be honest with me. I said, anybody, you could tell me it's a good book. I said, 1 to 10. He said, I got to give it a 10. And I was talking to Lenny Cosberg, and he made me feel, sad because and he said, the last 4 chapters, I was ready to cry. And I said, don't do that. But I guess it was because my injuries and, Thurman were having some problems. But the book came out unbelievable. I put this on for last about 3-4 hours yesterday. And there was so great response. I mean, it was an unbelievable response out of the book. And there was people just purchasing all over the place. And number one, it made me feel great that, I've given so much back to my Yankee fans, but it made me feel great that the person that before anything happens and I get too old, I can't do this anymore. I want to do everything I possibly can to make Thurman into the Hall of Fame where he deserves. This person deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And I feel like the reason why he's not in the Hall of Fame is because, he was a tough guy. He was tough to the writers. And some people have said, well, he wasn't in baseball long enough. You look at Bill Mazeroski, hit 1 home run. You look at other guys who never had to play in New York City and had the pressure that, when you're in New York City, you have more pressure than anybody the New Yorkers expect respect. They expect you giving 120%, and you got to perform, okay? And this is a guy that when he came up, the team wasn't the best, but he left it when the team was great. He molded that team. He molded that team. George got the players, and Gabe Paul signed the players, but Thurman molded these guys. He took that pitching staff. The pitching staff was a great pitching staff. The chemistry was great on the team. We had fun on the team. That's why when Sparky wrote his book, The Bronx Zoo, even in my book, you read the new book, we had fights every single day in 77. I was still on the team, but I was on disabled list, but I was at the stadium. I was at the games every single day, and I took my therapy every single day. And I saw everything that happened. And that was the type of team that we had. We had disagreements before games, but we're married on the field. And that was the type of team that we actually had. That's why it was called the Bronx Zoo. And Thurman molded that team, and he molded the New York Yankees into a winner. And, you know, I want to dedicate this book to Thurman and Diana, and to bring back some beautiful memories. And when Diana comes back to Fantasy Camp and Old Timers Day, and people love her. She's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lady. I love her. But I love her husband almost as much as she loved her husband, because he was that type of guy. And I want to give back. And I want the fans to see how great he is. And when you purchase this book, I'll write anything what you want in the book. Don't have me writing like a whole book, please, because I got 250 books here, and most of them are already gone. And I'm going to have to get some more books. But you can order my books. If you want to order the book, you could go to Amazon, or you could go to my website. It's ronblombergyankees.com. Remember, Bloomberg has one O. A lot of people are spelling my name like Michael Bloomberg, but it's one O, Blomberg, Ron Bloomberg Yankees. It's an S after Yankees. .com, ronblombergyankees.com. You could purchase a book. I'll personally sign it for you, and I'll get it out as quick as I possibly can. I'm just being honest with you. It's me and my wife are doing this, and I am not the most organized person in the world. My wife is excellent at this, but I got to write everything. And I think my English teacher will roll over in her grave to find out that I'm an author. I'm an author because I had two great authors, Dan Schlossberg and Dan Epstein. And fans, I appreciate everything which you have done for me. I love you. I can't tell you how much. And baseball is starting up. And it's 20% that's going to be in the stadium. It's going to be 30, 40, 50. And you know what? I would love to be able to meet each and every one of you, because you have brought love to me and my family. And in this hard time, I could smile. I know that a lot of people got sick, and I lost some friends, and everybody has done that. But if you can make yourself happy, and if you can smile, life is meant to enjoy. And that's why my parents always taught me, be nice to people, and eventually, and they'll be nice to you. And that's who I am. And the person that you see is a person who I am. But when I was out on the field, I gave 120%. And I wanted to beat the crap out of everybody, especially the Red Sox. And I had a great time. If somebody fought my players, I'll fight them back. But that's the type of person I am. But I wanted to let you know and to spend a few minutes with you. And Lenny probably is going to mute me because I'm talking too much. But I'll see y'all on Tuesday. I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for purchasing my book, to making Thurman. I want everybody to find out what type of person he is. This book is good enough after you read it. If you purchase another book, give it away. People that cannot see the Zoom, cannot see me on Facebook, purchase a book for the people. And, because they'll love this book and they'll cherish it because, number one, it's a great book. It's written extremely well. It's like I tell people, it's like bang the drum slowly. And it was a love-hate. But again, thank y'all very much. I love y'all. I'll see y'all Tuesday. I hope y'all could be there. And anything I could write for you, I'll do, but make it very simple and make words very, very simple, because I cannot, I hate the real long words and it takes me so a longer time to write it. But again, thank you very much. I'll talk to you Tuesday. Baseball is on this way. Yankees going to be good. And I love y'all. I love the fans. I'll talk to you.